Are you a financial advisor considering the Independent Registered Investment Advisor, or RIA model, and wondering where to start? Start with Schwab Advisor Services. Schwab has helped thousands evaluate the full range of options and can help you determine your best path forward. Navigate the big and small decisions by tapping into Schwab's decades worth of insights on what fuels RIA success. With Schwab Advisor Services, you have a custodian that will support you every step of the way. Start your journey today at advisorservices.schwab.com/paths.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Warning, the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, kiddies. This is yours duly, John Kassir, the voice of The Crypt Keeper. And you're listening to Slasher Radio.
Welcome to Slasher Radio. It's your boy Bones with Rob and Kat. Ladies, how are you doing this evening?
What's up?
Kat, you there?
Oh, I'm here. Sorry.
I thought you was hiding from us. Jesus, Kat.
I'm hiding.
You all right
I'm
over
gonna
there?
need you to pay attention, Kat.
You know, that coming from Rob. Rob is so astute and really does pay attention, but he surprises me sometimes because I don't know, I just get the feeling he's not paying attention sometimes. He'll just come with a million things about what you just said, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, I'll pay attention. I know what's going on.
Oh. He pays attention, Kat. He just doesn't always care.
No, very rarely do I care.
Oh man. So you guys survived Thanksgiving. How's your stomachs? Did you gain any weight? What happened?
I ate, but not a lot. I didn't do Thanksgiving right this year, I guess. I didn't eat enough to get sick or anything.
Oh, I hurt myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of turkey.
Did you? See, I'm not a big fan of turkey.
I'm not either, really. I usually with Thanksgiving, I just get more excited about all the side dishes.
Yeah, usually Thanksgiving is not my the best food holiday for me, but I don't know. I smelled the turkey this year and I was like, you know what? I'm going to have a nice little piece, and then I just went turkey crazy. Turkey, and I think my weight in mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
I had all the potatoes.
Yeah, mashed potatoes are where it's at. But yeah, the best food holiday is Halloween because you got candy corn.
Oh.
Well, candy. At least.
Rob, hold on. You know what? I'm going to have to... I wasn't prepared for some reason, but hang on. Because you know what? I'm not letting that slide. I don't know why I didn't have this ready to go, but here it is. Wait for it. There it is.
My goodness.
There it is. You got a whip. You happy now? Candy corn. God.
Candy corn is where it's at. You get a big old bag of that, sit down in front of the TV, and you're set.
We're talking about a Thanksgiving feast, and you got the nerve to bring up fucking candy corn. Yeah, I like stuffing. I'm a stuffing guy. I go ham on stuffing. Ooh.
Yeah, stuffing's okay. Depends on how it's made and everything.
Oh, Rob.
I'm a little picky about that.
I could get some fucking ground sausage in that bitch.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah, I'll hurt myself. I had stuffing all day. Oh, that was mostly what I had on Thanksgiving, and I ate it again twice today. That's how much I like stuffing. I get it once a year. I'm gonna go in on it.
And then, of course, the real holiday, Black Friday.
Oh God, yeah. Well, Rob, we were talking a little bit before we started, and you had mentioned to us that you pick up the movie bins on Black Friday. Tell everybody. Let's hear what you got.
Yeah, Best Buy is usually the best place to go for that, and they have really cheap Blu-rays on Black Friday. And in years past, I've gotten like 10 or 15 movies. This time around, they didn't have as much that I was really into. But I picked up Joker, and The Hunt, and I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm trying to think. Some non-horror stuff, Uncut Gems.
Why would you pick up The Hunt?
Yeah, that's why. What?
You guys didn't like The Hunt?
Oh,
I love The Hunt. I thought it was fun.
Of course he did. See, this I don't even know what to say at this point.
Well, whatever. It was $6. Who cares?
That's the point. Yeah, he's got a point there, Kat.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
I got my kid a Star Wars, one of the Star Wars movies that he didn't have, like the newest one, whatever the hell, Revenge of Skywalker or whatever. And then something else. I don't know, man. I can't remember them all. You can't be throwing, curveballs at me. I don't remember what I bought.
You know what's crazy, Kat? You ask him his ranking of Friday the 13th movies and something
that he has,
right?
But movies that you've bought today,
a few hours ago. No, I don't remember. How could I?
Nah, I can't. I don't remember. I don't. Knives Out. I got Knives Out. I like that movie.
I don't know what that is.
Knives Out was fun.
Yeah. So was The Hunt. I don't know what the hell your problem is.
No.
Oh God, we're not getting into it. But Kat, speaking of movies that aren't very good, just go ahead and get it out of your system.
Wonderful. I was very disappointed that we were talking about An American Werewolf in London this week.
I don't. First of all, stop
Rob
right
got
there.
me all excited about watching Santa Jaws, and then just everything that was pitched after that was a huge disappointment. Legitimately was grumpy for like a full 24 hours until I realized I could watch Santa Jaws anyway, and then that like it made my day better.
I
no longer better.
I pitched Santa Jaws simply to irritate Mike. And you got so excited about it, Kat. And then I was like, we can't do an episode on Santa Jaws. Like, there's
agreed
not a
on
whole
something
episode
for the first time.
This is true.
It was beautiful. Every line was a gem. It was like Snakes on a Plane, but much lower budget.
It's a fun movie. I mean, I didn't hate it at all, but I just don't know if there's a whole episode in talking about Santa Jaws.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of movie where at least you can get, then you could talk about Jaws, you could talk about Deep Blue Sea, like, that's one of those things. I mean, damn it, we talked over an hour about fucking whatchamacall last week, The Fog. Like, that was, Rob, I know you love it, but that is not an easy movie to really talk about.
That movie is awesome.
Okay, be that as it may. And speaking of, by the way, a lot of feedback we got about how many people, there was somebody who said, I can't remember their handle, but they actually said that after watching that movie, they avoided fog, like, for years.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's, Rob, even you gotta admit, this is a bit much.
Yeah, it's a little bit much, but yeah. I mean, it's a good movie.
Yeah, but, okay, be that as it may. Kat, you'll agree with me. There's just some movies that it's hard to talk about. There wasn't much on the bone to really discuss with The Fog.
Yeah, I think that it might actually be easier to get a full episode out of something like Santa Jaws because it's objectively ridiculous and maybe no one needs to talk about it for an hour, but you could because everything in it was just like so over the top ridiculous.
Well,
yeah, I know what you're saying though. I think that comes from like your opinion of the movie. Like, if I really like something, I can talk about it. If I really hate something, I can talk about it. But if you're in the middle on a movie where, it's just okay, then it's really hard to have a discussion about it. And I think you guys don't like The Fog as much as I do.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think you have to really love something or really hate something. And ideally, you'll have someone on the podcast who really loves it and someone else who really hates it. I think those are like the best quality, but the Fog does fall right in that middle section for me.
Right. Yeah, he pretty much just described The Fog for us. Like, it's not bad, but it's just, But I have a spoiler
You
alert.
guys suck.
I feel like Kat is going to talk us into agreeing to do Santa Jaws at some point in upcoming December. So
I was going to say December's just around the corner.
get ready, guys. If
Santa Jaws.
If you see Santa Jaws pop up on your iTunes, blame Kat. Just blame Kat.
I will take all the credit for Santa Jaws.
Wow, Rob, you created a monster here.
I know.
What the hell?
Taking all the credit. I'm the one who suggested it.
He's got a point.
You didn't even know it existed.
I didn't. It was such a fun time.
God, poor Kat. I don't know how she got caught up in the Santa. Like, this is all she's talked about, guys. You don't understand. Like, in our DM group, like, this is all she's talked about was fucking Santa Jaws.
This is true.
This is very bizarre. But yeah. So, guys, do you want to get into the news so we can talk about the happenings and then talk about this movie?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's time to hump the news with Rob Humphries.
He's not a genius.
Okay. It was kind of a slow news week for the most part. Not for nothing. I was very surprised. You know, we'll see. I think I picked out some interesting things for us to discuss. As always, you can go to slasherradio.com, check out all these articles and more, our interviews, episodes, all that stuff. Go check out our friends at 12nightsofhorror.com, promotehorror.com, and horrormoviesandstuff.com. They are great sources for horror, indie horror as well, which we all need to remember to support. And yeah, so first up that I want to talk about, Rob, this is mostly aimed at you. Kat, I don't know if you've seen it. I know that Rob has, but Freaky has officially received a date for an at-home on-demand release, and that is December 4th.
Yeah, I knew that it was going to come up soon. Jason Blum had said that he was going to shorten the theatrical window on it, so that people who didn't want to, go to theaters, didn't feel safe going to theaters, could see it at home. Really good movie. I enjoyed the hell out of it. So, and I would certainly say if you like the Happy Death Day, you'll like Freaky.
I haven't seen it yet. I've been trying to be good and not go to the theater. I've been tempted by several things, and Freaky was one of them, but I ended up not going. I'm excited that there's... and when is it? When's the...
December 4th.
December 4th. Oh, that's close.
Yeah. I've been looking forward to it. I've heard really good things about it. Vince Vaughn's awesome.
Yeah, he's really good in it too. It's a lot of fun. I really did enjoy it.
Hey, Kat, watch this. You know what else? Vince Vaughn, he gets a lot of stuff for like action and comedy mostly and all that stuff, but his horror ties, like his phenomenal performance in the Psycho remake.
God damn it.
I knew. As soon as you said Vince Vaughn and watched this, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, he had a stellar performance, damn near flawless, and
he was all wrong for that role. Completely wrong for that role.
I feel a Psycho episode coming along. That would be fun.
We could do that. We could talk about all the Psycho movies if you want. I love them.
Well, let's just talk about that one, no?
Wow, that one,
all of them?
Yeah. All of them are fun. Hey, I had to watch every goddamn Saw movie, Kat.
No, that's fair.
Damn, that's fucked up, man. He's always going to pull that out of his holster, Kat.
That's fair. I mean, we've got he can use it like 6 more times for 6 more movies.
I mean, God forbid you have to sit through Hitchcock.
Oh God. All right. Well, like I said, Psycho aside, yeah, I think Vince Vaughn's a really good actor, and he. It's really cool when we get to see these high caliber actors in a horror role with the kind of like Kevin James, even though I haven't seen Becky yet, which I really want to.
It's excellent.
Yeah, and I've heard that. And I love when we're able to see these higher caliber actors in a horror role that we're not used to, because it's not easy to pull that out, especially when they're known for a certain thing, and then you look at them and you're like, damn, where'd that come from? And maybe it'll bring more out of Kevin James and Vince Vaughn and who knows who else. So yeah, I look forward to.
Well, Vince Vaughn played a killer in the movie Clay Pigeons too.
I never heard of Clay Pigeons.
Clay Pigeons is a very good movie. It's not really a horror movie. It's more of a comedy than it is anything else. But it's one of those weird 90s comedies.
Okay.
It's got him and Joaquin Phoenix and Janine Garofalo. and he plays a serial killer in it, and highly recommended if you haven't seen it.
Damn. Clay pigeons. All right. Well, that's a hell of a cast too. Wow. All right. Well.
Yeah, it didn't do great when it came out for some reason, but I really liked it.
All right. That's another one we gotta check out. All right. Next up, NECA has a Victor Crowley toy figure, whatever you want to call it, coming to their website soon. Guys, I don't know. I know Rob is into especially vinyls and, you know, collecting things horror. Kat, I'm not sure if you have any cool collections going on, but I mean, what do you guys? I'm personally not into the figurine kind of thing, but like some of them are really fucking cool.
Yeah, I like the NECA figures. I think they look really good. They usually do an excellent job with them. I don't own any because I feel like I can't justify spending that much money on something that I'm just going to sit in a box on a shelf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, like what am I going to do? I'm going to get it out and play Victor Crowley with it. I think so. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, but I like them. Like they do a great job with them. I don't own any of them now.
Kat, you have any collections or anything like that?
Not a lot. I collect editions of books.
Okay.
And one of the reasons why I do that is because I gave away a lot of my like shelf collectibles to make room for more books in my library. I do still have some of like the pop vinyl figurines. I have a very unorthodox collection because I've got like Sharknado and then a bunch of the Game of Thrones, and that's
wow.
it.
Yeah, I have a small collection of those too. Not very many, but
it adds up though. Like it does become a very expensive habit, and I didn't realize until
Yeah, I
like
picked
over
up
a couple $100 in, and then it's like no.
Yeah, I picked up a handful of those horror figurines for my office at work. The pop vinyl, the Funko Pop, whatever. And I've got the they released 3 Prince Funko Pop. And I've got all 3 of those that I keep here next to my turntable.
I have some of they also, the Funko Pops do, like, pens. They do, like, little pen toppers. And I have a bunch of the horror ones. I've got, like, a Freddy, Jason, and Leatherface.
You know, I was thinking about starting a Funko collection, but kind of like what Kat just said, before you know it, you're in for a couple $100, even $1,000 on the damn things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it happens quickly.
But before I forget to mention it, Rob, did you see, I got an email from Waxworks. They have the, I forget what they call it, the thing that goes in the middle of the spindle.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, what do they call those? Spindles? Or
Spinachers.
And they had a Michael Myers one that sits in the middle of the vinyl on the little needle and fucking does its thing. Those would be kind of cool to have, too.
Yeah, I haven't bought any of those yet because, I don't know, $25 seems like a lot to me for that.
I was going to drop it, but then I seen it ships in March.
Yeah, they look really high quality, though. So, I don't know. I've been on the fence about that. And honestly, just another damn thing I'm going to start collecting.
Yeah.
You know, like if I buy one, then I'm going to be like, oh, I got to get all of them. And I don't want to be that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But the Michael Myers one is cool. They've got the Bride of Frankenstein. And I don't remember what other ones they've got out.
Yeah, there's so many, you know, that's one of the many things that are so great about horror. Like, little shit like that is so fucking cool to have. And it's like, you know, if I were to walk into somebody's house, they're playing, even if they weren't playing the vinyls and the record player, and I just seen that sitting there, I'd be like, whoa. You know, like, you stop and really look at it, you're like, damn, okay.
Yeah, those do look really cool, but I haven't picked up any of them yet.
Yeah. But, yeah, those...
I've been buying socks.
What?
Yeah, like horror socks from Fright Rag.
I have one pair.
Yeah, they had a really cool Black Friday sale, but they were out of all of the things that I wanted.
yeah.
We were talking about Black Friday shopping. And
I actually ordered 3 pairs of socks from them from their Black Friday sale. I got 2 Ghostbusters and 1 Big Trouble in Little China pair of socks coming.
God damn you. Like, you don't even... How do you... I have a pair of Freddy socks. Oh, wait, no. I think I have a pair of Friday the 13th. I have a pair of Jason socks, too. That's it. Like, you would think, Rob, you would at least have those.
I do. I have a pair of Friday the 13th socks. And then I have the Wolfman, Frankenstein, the Mummy, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Harry Warden,
Jigsaw
Leprechaun.
ones.
Of course you do.
And you know I got the Leprechaun
Well,
socks.
I was just gonna say, whoa. Did you just say leprechaun socks?
Yeah, I sent you a picture of them when they came in.
Oh fuck!
I put them on backwards just so I can step on his face.
Aw, you dirty son of a bitch! Hold on a second now. See, here we got now 2. That's 3 now in one episode. Rob. Damn it! Why do you gotta besmirch the leprechaun like that? Man? Oh yeah, you did send me those. I thought you just found them online. I didn't know you actually bought those.
Well, yeah, I bought them.
Oh my god! Damn.
Yeah. Oh, and I got a pair of Chucky socks too. I almost forgot about those.
Nice.
Chucky's cool stuff.
Yeah, no, I like the socks. They're real comfortable too.
Yeah, keep your tootsies warm. That's good.
Yeah, and I buy shirts from Fright Rags sometimes. But it just depends on what they got. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they had that Tom Atkins shirt. I didn't buy it. Though. I didn't have the money for it.
I feel like you would have paid $10,000 for that shirt.
It was, it was like $28 or something plus shipping. So it's gonna be like, probably $35. And I was looking at it. And I was like, I don't really like the design that much. I'll wait. They'll come out with something better.
We're not talking about Tom Atkins in this episode. We're just not gonna do it. Moving along. Next up, if Gremlins 3 happens, the writers actually insist that it be done with the original. What would it be called? I don't know. Were they were puppets? I'd imagine, or how? Yeah, it's not going to be CGI. Bottom line. I mean that's great news, guys.
Yeah, that is good news because I, for a long time, haven't really wanted them to do a sequel because I figured they'd just screw it up.
I doubt whether or not Gremlins can have much success in a comeback, but I do think knowing that they won't go the CGI route, that gives me more hope. I would watch it.
Comforting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see Gremlins being a big deal. I feel like there's people who are like, or kids, I should say, who late teens, early 20s, and there's a group of them that like to act like they know old shit. And it's like whenever some comes like, oh, Gremlins, and they just hop on. Like, it had to be. Like, these kids don't know shit about Pennywise. Like, it wasn't even. Like, it was more of like a cult thing, more so than mainstream, the original, before the new movies came out. So it's like, I couldn't believe that it caught on as much as it did. And it's like folklore to these kids about shit with shit like that. So I can see Gremlins maybe hitting it off like that. I don't know. But it's good to know that they're not going to CGI it and fucking ruin it like that. So thank God.
That is good. Now, how do you guys feel about Gremlins 2, the new batch?
Yeah.
I don't even really remember it very well.
I watched it probably, I don't know, a few years ago because I hadn't seen it in a long time, and it was better than I remembered it being. I have heard people say they like it more than the original, and that's just batshit crazy.
Oh God, that.
But yeah, I think they could do okay with the Gremlins, a third Gremlins movie, depending on how they market it and everything. I mean, you look at Ghostbusters. People are all excited about Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
It's all from that same era.
Yeah, I'm telling you, these kids like to hop on shit, man. Like, what do you even know?
Yeah, that is true. Kids be doing that.
Yeah. Go away. Fuck off! And then they say the new shit's better. It's like, you should be able to slap children when they say shit like that, though. Not for nothing.
Yeah. Here's a hot take, though. The Girl Ghostbuster movie, not as bad as everybody says it is.
I haven't seen that yet.
Really? People really, really hate on that movie, and I think it's actually pretty funny. I would rather watch that than Ghostbusters 2, which I think is awful.
All right, guys. Last thing I wanted to mention. There's a gentleman named, and here I go with names again, Patrick Lussier. I think I got that right.
There's no way you got that right.
Lussier. Lussier.
Yeah, there's no way, but that's fine.
You always doubt me. Who edited Wes Craven's Scream films. Well, I don't know. It might have been the original. I don't know. Either way, there's a story going around about how Wes Craven was kind of kicking around an alternate voice for Ghostface.
Really?
Yeah. What do you guys? It's hard for me to picture because it's so perfect.
I don't know. I mean, without hearing it, I don't know what I would think. You know, I mean, it seems weird now because that's the voice that we know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I don't know. You know, who's he gonna get? Like Ted Levine?
Ooh.
That would have been a very different movie.
Yes, it would have. But Ted Levine should voice everything.
Yeah, I'd give it a chance.
Yeah. Or you know, Ted, or like James Earl Jones, you know, Morgan Freeman. I mean, you know, I don't know. Like the voice that they used is perfect for it. Yeah, but without you know, really having an idea of what the other one was going to be, I have no way to judge it really.
Yeah, Kat, what are your thoughts on this? And be careful because me and you have had our headbutts with Scream.
With Scream. I don't
Kat
think the
doesn't like
original
Scream?
No, I don't like Scream 4.
Oh.
I don't think the original Scream could have done any better than it did. That being said, if Ted Levine wants to do his own Scream edit, I'll watch it. I'm curious enough that I would give it a go. But no, it is very difficult to imagine someone else doing voice work.
Yeah, it is. And to you guys' point with Ted Levine, and I'm a huge fan of the movie Joyride. I love Joyride. Ted Levine's
Candy Cane, that's so great.
Hell yeah.
He's so great.
He's so creepy and perfect. But if he came about it at a different angle, maybe Ted Levine, I might be there for it. But I don't know, man, because it's just there's something creepy yet simple about that Ghostface voice. And
yeah, you can't use Ted Levine because, spoiler alert, it's 2 high school kids.
True.
And he doesn't sound like a high school kid at all. You would have to change. It'd have to be 2 high school kids' grandfathers.
Yeah.
I think the voice in Scream, I think it's really good because you can tell it is a little bit, it's creepy, but there's still that hint of immaturity, though, you know?
Right.
It fits the tone of the movie.
Perfectly. Perfect. That's
hard to imagine it being anything different.
Yeah, and you know, you never know. There could have been something cooler. I mean, for Wes Craven to have entertained it, you know, I would imagine there's something there. But as awesome as Ted Levine is, as much as I love him, and that voice is, I mean, I'm not even going to disrespect Ted Levine by saying anything dirty, but I think you guys know where I'm going. His voice is perfect in every way, shape, or form. I don't know if it'll work with Ghostface, but yeah.
No, Ted Levine is the man.
He really is. Rob, right now, you've been out drinking all night, and you're stumbling to the sidewalk, and a dude comes and picks you up and says, "Let me give you a ride." There's 2 cars. Tom Atkins is in one, Ted Levine's in the other. Which car are you getting in?
I'm going with my boy Tom Atkins.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Rob!
Wait, what?
Now you're just being spiteful at this point.
But I do like Ted Levine a lot. Yeah, he's great. I love the show Monk, and he was on that. You know, Silence of the Lambs, Joyride. He's just great.
Ted Levine. How could you not pick Ted Levine over Tom Atkins? I'm done. I'm not talking about for the rest of the episode now. That's it. Fuck.
It's gonna be a long one.
He picked the movie.
Yeah.
Damn it, it's true. He also picked Santa Jaws. So
Yeah, why you motherfuckers ain't never picked no movies?
you just yelled at Kat. She picked what 6, 7 movies all in one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, never mind. I'll handle it.
I'm telling you, we should automate it. We each submit 10 movies.
Oh yeah, I read
Number
that.
generator.
I read that message, Kat. You're trying to give me homework now.
You have a list of all your Friday the 13th movies ranked.
In your wallet.
You don't even have to put these in order. You just have to send them.
It's not in my wallet. It's on my phone.
I imagine that it's laminated in your wallet.
Yeah.
I mean, I might do that. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I could just pull it out, be like, "Hey, here it is."
Double spaced font and everything. Yeah.
Looking all nice.
Oh man. All right, guys. So this is a Rob Humphrey pick again.
which means it's quality.
Well, that is to be debated, which we're about to do. We are talking An American Werewolf in London, 1981. Rob, you really have a thing for the early 80s, huh?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of great movies from that time period, and this one's just an absolute classic. John Landis wrote and directed it, and it's just, to me, it's maybe the best werewolf movie ever. Like, I can't think of one that I like more. So yeah, it's the early 80s. That's a great time period for the genre. I think people were, sort of, like special effects and everything were really coming into their own at that point. Just a year earlier, 2 years earlier, I guess in '79 is when they made Friday the 13th. But Tom Savini was pushing boundaries with the effects on that movie. And then you've got Rick Baker comes along in 1981 and makes this movie. By the way, Rick Baker, the first person to ever win the Academy Award for Best Makeup, and it was for this movie.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, they had never given out a Best Makeup Academy Award before. 81 was the first year, and it went to Rick Baker for his work here on An American Werewolf in London. So yeah, I mean, I just think it's a really great period for the genre, sort of overall. And then you've got these little gems of movies like this one that I still love to go back and watch. Like I watched it earlier today. In preparation for this episode, and I was, I was blown away by how much I felt like it still held up. Like the effects look just as good now as they did then.
All right, Kat. Me and you have been, for the most part, on the same side of the fence for Rob's movies. Where's this one hitting for you?
This is a really weird one for me because werewolves are they're one of those cracks in the horror genre where it's like I'll watch a werewolf movie, but they're never my favorite. That being said, I do think An American Werewolf in London might be my favorite werewolf movie. So I'm in a weird position. I kind of want to defend it, but also if I never saw it again, I'd be okay. Which I probably could have said before I rewatched it this week. Also, it was better than I remember it, but all of my favorite things, and I think this is kind of indicative of the issue for me, is that all of my favorite aspects of it were the non-werewolf parts. Like
what?
None of it. Never mind. I take it back. No. No, I think the opening is really good. There's just that where there's not the shaky shots of the road, because those kind of gave me a headache. But when they go into the pub and it's so tense, there's that tension that I really liked, and that was very good. I liked the psychological aspects of it. I did kind of like the body horror of the wolf transformation, but then the wolf that they showed after that really paled in comparison to the body effects that were done in the transformation sequence, which was kind of a letdown. I don't know. It just I'm not a huge fan of werewolves, I guess, is the thing.
I mean, we really don't really have much of a format as it is when we discuss these things anyway. But I guess we could jump right to that, because that's something I noted too, Kat, and you're right. Man, Rob, I love the transformation scene. Was really cool. Like, I noted down for us to talk about it, and we can get a little more in depth about that in a little bit. But man, afterwards, like that whole thing, man, that it looked more like a bear than anything else. Like a very weird looking bear. Like it wasn't a werewolf at all. I don't know if that was maybe. Like, what do you think it was, guys? I'm leaning on the fence of they couldn't pull it off and make it function and look right.
And it was another really weird thing about the movie, because I think some of the most effective scenes were scenes where they followed in the steps of like the earlier werewolf movies, where they show less and it's more effective. The guy running through the subway tunnels, I think, is like one of the coolest chase scenes from that era. Like, it's very effective, very tense, very spooky, and they barely showed the wolf at all. And then they would have like, they showed it too much in other shots, and it wasn't great.
Yeah, no, I agree. It doesn't look great, the actual wolf itself. But to me, that transformation sequence is so damn good that it makes up for any shortcomings that it might have.
If that had been the only time they had shown the wolf was the transformation scene, there would have been part of me that would have been like, why didn't they show it after? But I think it would have been better overall, because it was so good. The bar got so high, and then I don't know what kind of weird wolf bear puppet they were using after.
Yeah.
And that's something I think they did really good too. And you guys mentioned it a couple times already, but it sticks out so much to me. They didn't give you a ton of werewolf, and that's fine. Like, that shouldn't be something that should be overdone. It should be special, and they kept it special, which is really good. And I don't know if most of the reason for that was cost. I'm sure it was probably it helped in both ways, where it was cheaper to not, and also. You don't want to blow your load with it right away. Make them wait for it. Keep them in suspense for it. And I think that was really good, too, that they didn't overexpose it.
Yeah, trying to think of when they really did show the werewolf. Like, I liked the beginning when the wolf attacked them when they were lost on the moor.
Yes.
But that was very quick. You saw a flash.
Mm-hmm.
Of the wolf at that point, and then
they teased you with it.
Yeah, and then it was awesome when they came in and killed it, and it immediately turned back into that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was confused at first when they showed a shot of like that dead guy laying there.
Yeah,
I was like, "What the? Oh, yeah, that's a dude."
I thought it was the first dude that got mauled, and I was like, "How the hell did he get naked?"
Yeah,
It was my thought on it. But dude, you're right, and that is definitely something I wanted to talk about, because that first scene, I almost called it the opening scene, it's not, but the first kill in the movie, man, that was perfect. That had aggression. It had everything, man. That brutality of it. The effects were simple, yet they were done well. That right there is the difference between, I think, and I don't want to sound like the get off my lawn guy, but between older movies and newer movies. Like, I could only imagine what a newer movie would do with a scene like that. Like, it would be so overdone, and you'd probably see the whole damn werewolf right off the bat or something like that. But man, the simplicity of it with just pure aggression and brutality is the best way to put it. Like, that scene was fucking crazy.
Yeah, and I don't know what I didn't look up the budget for this one, so I don't know how much money they had to play with to make it, but I would guess that, a lot of budgetary constraints probably fit into that too.
I think it had a $10 million budget, this thing.
Oh, did it
Unless
really?
Google's lying. Yeah, $10 million budget, yeah.
I trust Google.
Oh, wait a
if
minute.
you want a secondary source, just punch it into Bing.
Oh, God.
I got one saying 5.8.
Yeah, I was just looking into it because I don't know if this is a remake, because I'm looking at it now and it looks like it could be a remake that got 10 million.
Well, there hasn't been a remake. There's been talk of a remake,
really?
but it hasn't. It's just sort of stalled.
Oh.
Yeah, John Landis' son Max was apparently wanted to write and direct a remake of it. And it seemed like it was going ahead, and then Max went and got himself Me Too'd.
Yeah.
And since that happened, it's just been kind of stalled. I haven't heard anything else about it, so I don't think it's going forward anymore. Which is fine with me, because they'll just screw it up. That transformation scene is going to be completely CGI and awful. It'll be like the sequel.
Well, either way, I mean, a $5 million budget, even if that's the case, Kat, I mean, that's a pretty good amount of money, especially back in 81 when this came out. So, I don't...
Yeah, that's quite a bit of money in 81, yeah.
It really is.
IMDb does say it's 10 million, but then it does say in parentheses that it's estimated. So, I don't... Who knows?
Yeah, so let's go in the middle. It's like 7 million or something. Let's just give it that. Like, and I know effects are expensive and they weren't as easily done back then as they are now. So I understand, like, there's ups and downs with, kind of equivocating all that stuff to nowadays, like converting that with inflation, I guess you'd call it. But I think they did phenomenal. Like the scene where that dead dude is talking to David in the hospital. Oh my God.
The effects for Jack, was his name?
Yeah, Jack, yeah.
Were so good. Jack was very interesting. If the movie had been about David and Jack, and not and less about because that was amazing. And even toward the end, as Jack started to get like more and more decayed, it was very stylized, but it was very effective.
Yeah, it's I love the way that they did that. As the movie goes on, Jack keeps getting more and more decayed and grosser and grosser. To that that scene with him and all the other people that David has killed, and they're in that porno theater.
Mm-hmm.
I think in a weird way, I think that may have been my favorite scene. That moment when you realize that it's not just the two of them in the theater, that everyone else that you saw coming in was someone that David had killed. I think that was like really effective, very good. That like the psychological horror did very well. The practical effects were very good. There was a lot to like about it. I just got disappointed by the wolf.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but I guess this movie's known for the transformation.
Right.
I mean, that's what everybody takes away from this movie. And Michael Jackson liked this movie so much that he sought out John Landis and Rick Baker to make the video for Thriller.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just but that's what he liked. That's what everybody liked about this movie, I think, more than anything else. But I think there's a lot of other good stuff going on, like we talked about Jack's makeup and stuff. I think the story is good. I think it's interesting. You don't get that transformation until an hour into the movie.
Right.
But I don't think it's ever boring up until that point.
Let me stop you there, Rob.
God. We need to get you some ADHD meds or something, man. I swear to God.
Look, I don't want to say heavily, but I was drinking a good amount during this movie, so I focus more when I am intoxicated. So that's not an excuse. I will say this about this movie. When it is good, it is great. But when it's slow, it borders brutal. Can you at least, Rob, I know how much you love it. Can you at least see where I'm coming from with that?
Nope, I disagree. Where did you get bored?
I don't know. There was a few. Kat, are you with me here or no?
Yeah, I don't like the romance.
No.
I didn't like any of
Oh, all right, fine. So Kat's on the record as she hates love.
Wow.
But, yeah, I'll go on. I'll take that position. I guess.
Poor Kat.
Maybe I don't like a romantic subplot has to be like very good for me to care about it much at all. And the chemistry between David and Alex, I don't feel confident about any of the names in this. It wasn't there for me. I didn't buy it. They spent too much time on it because I wasn't really gonna buy it anyway. So if we could have cut that down, I think it would have been better. It's also really weird. I know, in its time and place, and the fact that I don't know how hospitals work in London. It was very strange for me that the nurse is just able to like take a patient home with her.
Yeah. Well, my whole thing with that, what made it seem weird to me was they were like, all right, we're going to release you from the hospital. And she's like, well, you can come stay with me. And I was like, well, is he going to go home?
Yeah, his family went to his friend's funeral and like didn't come to London to see if he was okay.
Yeah, I mean, there were a few things there that I questioned, but I didn't find them boring. There were just more questions that I had. Because I mean, yeah, there's the romance angle and everything, but like while he's at her place, he sees, Jack again, and then he's struggling trying to figure out, is he really going to be a werewolf or is he, gone insane? I just think there's enough interesting stuff happening with the characters that it didn't bore me at all.
Yeah, I think it, like, there's always, how long was this? Like an hour and 37 or something like that? This could have benefited from maybe being 10 minutes shorter. And 10 minutes doesn't sound like a lot, but, when you're in those moments where the scenes are a little slower and you cut it by, even if it's like 2-3 minutes, like that go a long way here and there. Because you get to the next scene, there's a little more going on, change the pace a little bit. I don't know, Rob. I feel like it slowed down a little bit here and there. And that was really my... Because at first, I haven't seen this. I seen this movie one time forever ago. So I really didn't remember much. Obviously, the transformation scene and the werewolf sticks out. But I didn't really remember the story of it and all that. So I was sitting there like, man, I don't know if I remember liking it. And at first I was like, okay, this is starting off a little slow. I'll give it a chance. But then it hit that scene we were just talking about where they're getting mauled in the middle of that field or whatever. And I was like, holy shit. And then it was good, and then it slowed down. I'm like, oh, okay. And then something would happen.
Yeah, there's no doubt it does slow down. It doesn't, we don't keep seeing people get mauled. There's a good long stretch there. But to me, it's just interesting to watch the characters. Like I said, is he struggling? Is he crazy, or is he really going to be a werewolf? And he's seeing his friend. Is he really seeing him, or is that all in his mind? He's having those bad dreams that keep cropping up, and then his relationship with the nurse also. I mean, the doctor character's fine, I guess.
Also,
I mean,
how much free time does that doctor have?
Well, doctors had a lot of free time in the early 80s. As we've discussed, Dr. Chalice left and went up to Northern California to chase down a guy who stole a piece of Stonehenge to kill the children. Doctors were basically detectives in the early 80s, apparently. That's how they are in these movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's kind of the same thing. This guy leaves London and travels to the north, whatever that town was called. I can't remember the name of it, North Proctor or whatever, to investigate what happened to David. Yeah, I mean, they could have lost that, I guess.
Yeah.
But that brings him back knowing that there's something wrong. He doesn't necessarily think that David's going to be a werewolf, but, if David believes he's going to be a werewolf, then, that he can still be just as dangerous.
Yeah, I think they had a nice little, I guess you call it an out, almost with, I keep forgetting the kid's name, Jack or whatever his name was, the friend who he's seeing the ghost of, and he's telling him, oh, you gotta kill yourself, and, you can turn the werewolf and all this stuff. It was kind of a cheesy way to explain it, because, like, you gotta get the explanation in there somewhere with these movies, and, that was a really cheap way to do it, but I think it was a good way to do it, because you got the effects in there, and, a completely different side point of this, dude, those scenes were fucking dark when you really look at it.
That was, I think, one of my favorite aspects, because it's something that werewolf mythology, to my knowledge, has never really touched on before. The fact that if you don't end the werewolf line, you're condemning the souls of everyone who's died to the werewolf line to, like, this terrible limbo. It made for, like, a very interesting angle. And yeah, that's the scene where they're debating about how David should kill himself. It's, like, very, very dark.
Yeah. Yeah, Landis wrote this movie long before he was able to make it. He couldn't get financing from anybody. Everybody that he showed the script to, they all told him it was too dark and gory to be a comedy and too funny to be a horror movie. So he couldn't get it made. It wasn't until after he had success with the comedy stuff, the Blues Brothers and Animal House, that he was finally able to get somebody to give him the money to make it. It took him a long time. And even then it was a bit of a problem because the posters said, from the creator of National Lampoon's Animal House or whatever, and people would go in thinking they were going to see this funny romp of a werewolf movie, and it was so dark that they were apparently leaving halfway through because it wasn't what they expected.
That was another pretty good point in the comedy. I don't even know so much comedy, but something that I think was different, and I wanted to talk to you guys about, was the dream sequence that David was having about, like, I don't even know how to explain it, like the crazy werewolves, and they were, like, tearing up that house and blowing shit up, and
oh yeah,
right. See, I don't feel like there was a place for that in this movie, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad it was there.
I think it could have done, and here's a hot take. I think it could have done without that scene. I think it also could have done without the sex scene, which I do think is, like, one of the most awkward early 80s sex scenes.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. It was the least chemistry that they had when they needed maybe to have the most chemistry, and it was not there. I think it's one of the reasons why I didn't like Alex and David very much as a couple. But those are two scenes, because I think the dream sequence, the loss of control, as well as, like, with the sex scene, the very primal urges, those are both things that you see recurring in a lot of werewolf movies. And I think the fact that this one did something darker and hit on the psychological tones, I think maybe it would have been a stronger movie if it had just like leaned into that dark comedy a little bit more instead of trying to hit like usual werewolf notes.
Yeah, I get it. See, like I'm on the fence with it. Like I seen it and I was like, what the hell is this? You know, like this is an early '80s monster movie, and it's like, what the hell kind of crap is this? But then when it was all said and done, I was like, you know what? It was kind of cool that it was there.
I think that the purpose that those dream sequences serve is more to break up any sort of monotony from the hospital scenes, because he's in the hospital for a long time, and it's a way to, you know, get us out of the hospital and show us something that's a little bit scary.
Right.
And I think that's really the only purpose they serve. I agree with Kat. I think I don't know if it would be a better movie without him, but it could certainly lose them and not really miss it.
Yeah. And I was surprised I wasn't as mad as I was that it was there. That was my thing.
They're not, but I will say this: I do disagree with Kat on the sex scene. You got to have a sex scene in an early '80s horror movie.
Then they could have done it better.
Kat, thank you so much.
It was so awkward.
I was sitting there, Rob, look, the best sexual aspects of a movie, any movie, should not be a dude's ass. And that was the best aspect of these fucking sexual aspects of this movie, was his, like, in the transformation scene. His ass looked great. I'm comfortable enough to say it. I'll come out and say it. His ass looked great. But, man, that sex scene was so bad. Like, I'm like, he's just laying there. He's not even doing nothing, Rob.
And, like, I couldn't quit thinking about it either, because there's, like, right before they get in the taxi, there's, like, she's on the phone and he's, like, nibbling at her, and I was like, even this level of chemistry would have been fine, but where was it, like, 5 scenes ago?
Yeah, his character's great in that part of the movie where he's, after the first night that he goes out and kills a bunch of people. You know, he feels
that was
great.
His best acting.
Yeah. He actually, speaking of his ass, Mikey, his work in this movie cost him, I would assume, quite a bit of money. He was the star of Dr. Pepper's Be a Pepper national ad campaign when he made this movie, and they dropped him after it came out because of the subject matter and also the male nudity in the movie.
Oh, come on.
I bet it ended up costing him quite a bit of money in the long run, because you could make a lot of money off those national ads.
The balls, man. Come on. His ass looked great. Like I said, I'm comfortable enough in myself to say it. I don't care.
I don't think it was about the quality of the nudity. I think it was just the nudity in general.
But if I was Dr. Pepper or any brand for that matter, I'd want this guy to be like, you know, they see him in the commercial. Oh, that's that guy. Did you see his ass? Like, I'm going to go get a Dr. Pepper now. I don't know. But yeah, no, Kat, I agree. There's nothing more awkward than watching a sex scene in general can get awkward. Just on face value normally. Especially, you know, depending on who you're watching it with. Like, it could just get awkward. It's not more awkward than watching bad sex. It's just not, man. Like, it's fucking, oh, goddamn. I'm glad it wasn't just me. I'm really glad it wasn't me.
Yeah, everything's got to be perfect for you young people, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, goddamn, Rob, we're not asking for the world here or nothing, but you can do better than that. I don't know. Yeah, that was weird too. Yeah, like, see, the Kat's right. The relationship, the whole thing could have just been done. Like, we didn't really need all that.
He had to have a reason to stay in London.
I almost wish that they had taken out the love arc entirely, but there was one window where I thought it could really work, because there's that line in there when he's talking about, like, Wolfman and whatever, and where he's like, you know, I think, what is it? I think I should have written it down.
I think the werewolf has to be killed by somebody who loves them. Something like that.
And it was like, it was mushy and over the top, but it's like, that's going to be a really good payoff, because she's not going to have to say, I love you. She's just going to get to kill him, and it's going to be satisfying, and that will tie up the romantic arc as well. without being like over the top. And then they both said I love you, and then she wasn't even the one to kill. Like, she got him killed, arguably. You could play it from that angle, but it's like, it would have been, I think the romance actually might have worked if they had tied it back around to that, but they missed the window, and she just
yeah, I mean, that's possible. He does say I think, though. He's just wrong.
That's true.
Sometimes
He might
people are
be
just
wrong.
wrong. I mean, not me, but other people.
Oh my! Wait, hold on. Okay.
Up to 4?
Yeah, 4 whips. I'm start calling you Whippy, Rob.
I don't know why you never smacking cat around.
If I had these up and going,
points.
If I had these up and going during that Scream 4 argument, I very well might have. I don't know. But no, there's certain things. There's here and there. Just get rid of a couple little things, and I think stuff like that goes a really long way. Like, I really truly believe that. So
it is. This is considered an early horror comedy. I mean, not the earliest, obviously. They go back to the 40s. But it's very influential on a lot of people. Like Edgar Wright has said that this movie was a big influence on him. So the question, I guess, do you guys think it's funny?
No.
You didn't laugh at all?
Other than that sex scene, his ass a couple times, no, I didn't laugh at all.
The only time I laughed out loud, there were things that I thought were amusing in it. I can see how it's the roots for like horror comedy as we know it today. I see the relationship, but the only time that I laughed out loud was right after he, like, when she said that she loved him and then he immediately attacked her, and I thought that was kind of hysterical.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is what I was supposed to feel. I don't.
I thought the scene in the zoo was funny. I laughed a lot during that. When he was running naked through the zoo, and especially at the little boy who went to his mom. he said, "Mom, a naked American man stole my balloons." It made me laugh.
I did like her reaction. She just looks so dumbfounded.
Yeah, I laughed a lot. I laughed more at this movie than I remembered laughing at it in viewings in the past. But I get what you guys are saying. I think there's a thing about sort of early 80s comedies even that are a lot like that. They're not really, there's just a lot of amusing things that happen where they're not really laugh out loud funny.
I'll give it that.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I can give it that. Yeah, like the scene where he was butt naked from the wolves was kind of funny.
Yeah. And like his conversations with Jack in the beginning of the movie, also, I found them very amusing. Just their sort of interplay. Now, once Jack died, and those conversations became really creepy. But just the way the two of them, interacted before that, I found very amusing too. But I was just curious. I didn't know if you guys thought it was funny or not. I mean, the whole concept of being confronted by a group of people that you've murdered inside a porno theater while they discuss ways that you should kill yourself made me laugh too.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it to where it's like got that casual, like, oh, kind of. Yeah. I'll give it that. But keep in mind too, like my age, I grew up comedy horror as I know it is Scary Movie, which is way more. I mean, Scary Movie's it's definitely more comedy than horror, sure, but like stuff like that is my point. Like
there's no subtlety to that.
No, not in the least bit.
Tiny ho.
But
yeah.
That's kind of my point where it's like we're spoiled with comedy horror. What was the name of that movie that you picked, Rob? Tucker and Dale?
Yeah, Tucker and Dale versus
Tucker
Evil.
and Dale.
Right.
Is yeah. See, that's what I think of when horror comedy, where it's like it's very disturbing and often like pretty gory, but there's laugh out loud moments.
Right. Yeah. And I think we're spoiled with that now because you had said it too. Comedy horror was so new at that point. Like they were experimenting and putting their feet in the water with it. Like horror movies were, Halloween and stuff like that. How dare you put comedy into things back then? And I feel like that's how it, for the most part, was looked at. Now it's so acceptable and even successful. Like Scary Movie, made fucking more than most horror movies. Like it's become so perfected. That I think I look at it differently because of how the movies I grew up on from it.
Right. But it's really pervasive now too, to almost to the point that when I'm reading like a description of a movie that I haven't seen yet, and it says it's a horror comedy, I just kind of roll my eyes. It's like, can we just not? You know, like I get it, and I enjoy some horror comedies, but I also just like a good scary movie. Can I just watch one of those?
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think it's really rewarding though when you see a trailer for something that you think is just going to be like a really awful horror movie, and then you get dragged into watching it anyway, and then you find out it's a horror comedy? Like, it knows it's bad. I think can be like a fun surprise.
Yeah, and that's how see, but there's another side to that point. And we talked about IR Chris, who was on This Horror Life with you this week, Rob. And he came on and we talked about Feast, one episode on here, and I did not think that was a comedy horror by any stretch of the imagination. I was going into that thinking it was like Evil Dead mixed with like, I don't know, Alien or something like that. That's what it looked like to me. From just a little bit that I seen the poster and a couple things. And then when you find out it's a full-blown, at that, comedy horror, you're like, whoa. Like, you have to adjust so quickly. And it's like, sometimes it's a little offsetting. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest, Tucker and Dale, I didn't think I was going to like it. Because, like, there are comedy horrors where it's like kind of like what Rob said, where you're just going to roll your eyes and be like, all right, this is just stupid. And I thought that was the way I was going to kind of lean with that one. But I was wrong. You know, like it's one of those things that has to be done right, too. That's the problem with it as well.
I think more often than not, those movies tend to lean more comedy in my estimation. And usually it's not very good comedy.
Yeah.
So then I'm just watching a bad horror movie that thinks it's funny and it's not.
Like the later scary movies.
I think that's the trick, is that you have to go like, you have to commit to both. You have to be like full horror, full comedy.
Yeah.
And a lot of movies they're not brave enough to do that.
Yeah. I've said it before. It is a dangerous fucking tightrope you're walking when you're doing that comedy horror shit. Like, it's very hard to please both sides of it and get that good mix of ingredients together to marinate, and it's not easy to do. That's why I really don't, as much as I love comedy and obviously love horror, I rarely will sit and watch a comedy horror because it's so shit. Meet the Blacks, I think, the one with Tracy Morgan and Mike Tyson, that shit was fucking hysterical.
Oh, really? I didn't like it.
I haven't seen it, so
yeah, I'd see. I knew that. I figured Mike was getting the whip. I didn't like it at all. But you know, whatever. You can like it if you want.
I thought that was funny as hell. But there's, anything with Michael Blackson in it, by the way, just a little side note, I fucking will watch it and love it. Anything with Michael Blackson, it's funny as hell. But anyway, yeah, I didn't get that vibe from this. I think it was like one of those movies where like I wasn't sure if I was supposed, like if they were trying to be funny or if it was just bad.
No, yeah, it was, it was most definitely trying to be funny. I mean, John Landis he's just known for comedy. Like I said, the Blues Brothers and Animal House and Kentucky Fried Movie.
He did the Twilight Zone movie too.
Yeah, killed a man.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And I don't think ever took responsibility for it, which is unfortunate.
Well,
no wonder his son's a shithead who couldn't make a movie.
Good Lord, Rob, shithead. Wow.
What's with kids today, huh? No respect.
Wow, tell me how you really feel.
Yeah, but
don't hold back.
Right.
No, whatever. Come on.
Holy shit!
I'm sure John Landis is going to lose sleep about what I say about him or his kid.
Oh yeah, exactly. But hold on a second. Hold on, guys. Wait a minute, Kat. I need you to be aware that I just seen this now. At 1:49 a.m. Close to, we're going on about an hour ago. Rob sent a picture of Tom.
This is about Tom Atkins.
Yep. Sent a damn picture of Tom Atkins again.
Yeah, Mikey got it twice.
Damn it!
Because I wanted to include Kat in on that one, but then also there's the other DM chat that's just become nothing but Tom Atkins photos.
Kat, did you see this?
I saw it just a couple minutes ago.
And you no-sold it? You just say nothing?
I didn't say anything.
Wow.
We were on a good roll. I didn't want to like interrupt and be like, also, now that you've said we're not going to talk about it, let's cycle back around to Tom Atkins.
He makes it happen. God damn it. I'm getting sick and tired of these things. Hold on. I'm going to scroll. Oh, okay. Saturday at 10:53 p.m., Tom Atkins. Thursday, on Thanksgiving of all days, 10:32 p.m. It seems to be around 10:30, 11 o'clock. He gets the Tom Atkins fix. Tom Atkins. Then again, Thursday at 11:26, Tom Atkins, and here we are again today.
Yeah. I just want you to remember.
Oh, I haven't forgotten.
Did you notice the soundtrack to this movie? Every song had the word moon in its title.
No.
Not. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. There are 3 versions of Blue Moon that are played. One at the beginning, one somewhere in the middle, and one at the end. There's Creedence Clearwater Revival's Bad Moon Rising, and the shower scene has Van Morrison's Moon Dance.
Oh, I definitely noticed. The really was that Mikey. I thought it was like very obvious. I was like, this is not subtle.
Yeah.
What are you guys being astute? I did not. Maybe that liquor didn't help. I don't know. I did not notice it.
And I read online, he tried to get Cat Stevens' Moon Shadow, but Cat Stevens had gone, I think, religious at that point, and didn't like the subject matter of the film, so he wouldn't let him use it.
Damn, that sucks. Okay, guys, I need your opinion on something, and I'm sorry I'm going off topic again, but how do you feel about actors and in horror specifically? And I'm going to mention Warwick Davis, because off the top of my head, he's the main one I can think of. Like, they have all the success with horror movies, and then they just want nothing to do with them. And, you know, they'll say it's because of religion or because I had kids. And, like, trust me, I get it and all that. But to completely abandon it like that, like, I don't like that. Am I wrong?
It doesn't bother me. I mean, whatever. Somebody else will take the role.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but... And then don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they should be forced to do it. I just, it's a shame to see it. You know, it's their job. They do what they want. I get it. But it's so disappointing. I was just sad about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand it. But yeah, there are certain people who seem to act like they're, you know, above the genre.
Yeah.
But that's also sort of the industry as a whole. You know, I mean, when you look at like, you know, the Academy Awards or all the year-end lists from critics and everything, there's never really horror movies on there. Every once in a while, you'll get Get Out or something will end up on those lists and get nominated for an award, but that's very few and far between. And so I think for them, I mean, if you're a professional actor and you're working in movies and you're in an industry that doesn't value these movies, this genre, then you're going to avoid it and try to distance yourself from it. And it's unfortunate, but I do kind of understand it, but, you know, it's just the way the game's played.
Kat, does that bother you, or?
Yeah, it bothers me a lot. It's something that because I think some of the most human, most relatable, like most important stories are told in the horror genre.
Right.
And it's, you know, I think it's one of those things that's just so expansive, because we do have a lot, like, it's a genre that has a lot of, like, throwaway, cheap stuff that gets made, but the whole thing has kind of been tossed out with, you know, with the cheaper stuff, and I think that's a real shame. It's something that I notice in movies, and it's something that really bothers me in books as well.
Yeah.
I think The Stand should be taught as, like, literature, and it's never going to be, you know?
Right.
But
yeah, I don't know. Don't mind me. I don't know. I hate seeing that. It's like, damn, man. Did you forget? Don't even get me started on the actors like who got their start in Tales from the Crypt and shit and act like it never happened. Don't even get me started on that.
Oh yeah,
that.
I mean, and that's the thing. There are a lot of actors who got their start in horror and then like to pretend that never happened.
Yeah, and they never even go back. See, that's why I'll give it to Vince Vaughn, man. And I don't know if he got his start in horror or anything, but like every now and then he'll go back to the genre. And you know, like I don't expect them to turn down all the money they're going to make and all that when elsewhere. Don't get me wrong, but like I mean, it don't hurt to come back home every now and then.
Yeah, or you know, where I notice it a lot of times are things like Crystal Lake Memories, like when they were doing, talking to a bunch of the cast members from Friday the 13th. Kevin Bacon's nowhere to be found. That kind of stands out.
Yeah, it's the fuck, man. I don't know. Jennifer Aniston's another one. As much as I love her, but like, come on, where would you be? There, I mean, we don't know, but like, would we have Rachel Green the way we know her? Without we don't know. They played a role somewhere.
Well, no. Clearly, The Leprechaun was the seminal work of her career.
I don't know how she didn't win awards for that fucking thing, but that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, I've never seen her. I've never seen an interview or read an interview with her where she's been asked about it.
Yeah,
I wonder what her reaction would be.
Maybe the problem is on the interviewers. Maybe
it could be.
Damn right.
I mean, that could be it. Maybe they just don't want to ask about it. I'll tell you what. When I interview people, I'll ask about it if I find something like that. I did an interview with Greg Allman before he died, and I asked him about his episode of Tales from the Crypt. And he laughed. He was like, "Oh, that's the one where the tattoos come to life or something."
Yeah. But see, that's their reaction to it, man.
Yeah, he remembered it. He's not an actor though; he's a musician.
Right.
So to him, it was like he said he tried his hand at acting, and he flat out said, "I just wasn't very good at it, so I just stopped."
Right.
I talked to Harry Connick Jr. I asked him about Bug. I'm working with William Friedkin, and he was more than willing to talk about it. He had a great time making that movie.
Yeah, it's a shame. It really is a shame. We need a little more love for the genre, man. We really do. It gives so much. It gives such a platform to young actors. Yeah. And it always has. And it's rare that they take it and go. But I mean, look at Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis, Johnny Depp.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there have been a lot of people who've gotten their start in the genre and gone on to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
Or bigger and worse things.
Maybe.
True.
Johnny Depp.
Oh, poor Johnny Depp.
But he's been the one who's been the most sort of inclined to come back to the genre in some ways. I mean, he's worked with Tim Burton on Sleepy Hollow.
Well, his horror roles have been his best work, I think. With a notable exception, I think.
Which one?
But for the Secret Window.
Oh God.
I've never seen that.
Don't.
I'm scared just by the title.
It's bad. That was him, right? I'm not making this up.
Yeah,
okay.
he was in it. I just haven't seen it. Have you seen the Polanski movie he was in called The Ninth Gate?
No.
Yeah.
I really like that. Although I've been told that's not horror, but I think it's close enough.
It's what is like thriller maybe?
I mean, I guess I don't know.
It's like just I would count it as horror,
it's close
maybe.
enough to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about a guy who's trying to hunt down a book for the devil.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but that seems close enough to what the actual plot is.
Sounds fair enough.
And it was good.
But I'm trying to look and see if I mentioned anything that I wanted to mention. There's really not much. We touched on the transformation scene a little bit, but guys, I mean that was fucking awesome.
And we talked about this a little bit. Because one of the things that I really liked about this movie was that it went its own way with werewolf mythos, and the idea of the transformation being that painful was something that, a lot of other werewolf movies kind of like skim past that, and they took it in a different direction. They like really drew it out. I really appreciated it.
Yeah, I mean the transformation scene in this film is just one of those iconic horror scenes. I mean, it's up there with the most iconic in the genre to me.
Right.
And it's it's never really been duplicated or surpassed in my mind. Just the work that Rick Baker did, and it's funny, Rick Baker was upset on when they shot it because he worked for I don't know how long, a few months on getting like everything ready for the face transformation.
Right.
And then John Landis did one take that lasted about 7 seconds.
Oh God.
The face transformation. Yeah. He was like, I wasted all my time. But apparently he went to a screening with an actual audience, and after the transformation scene, the audience that he was in like broke out in applause, and so he was like, "All right, I guess it works."
Damn. Yeah, I mean, we've seen him done a ton of and even not so much in werewolf movies, because I mean, there's really not a ton of them, but just
Dude, that transformation in Teen Wolf, look out!
Are you serious?
I don't know. I don't remember the transformation scene in there. I'm sure there is one, but
oh, well, you were about to get another whip. I had my hand on the mouse.
Don't act like you don't like Teen Wolf.
I pulled the folder. I've never seen even a second of Teen Wolf in my life.
Get out of here! You've seen Teen Wolf. That movie. Everybody's seen that movie.
I swear, I've never seen Teen Wolf.
That's your loss, Mikey.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Michael J. Fox playing basketball as a werewolf. Apparently that's okay. There's no rule against that.
I suppose not. But like I was saying, there's been a ton of different transformation scenes throughout film in general. But I don't know, man. There was something about this one. And, you know, you always got to think about the time that it was done in, too. You know, like that's got to play a big part. And I think it makes it that much more impressive that they were able to pull this off the way they did in the time that they did. And like, you could put that exact scene, just cut it and paste it into a movie today, and they would miss a beat.
Yeah, no, it's just a wonderful piece of work. It's great. And you know, watching it today, you can't take your eyes away from it either. Like it's absolutely horrific to watch.
Right.
Just how painful it was and everything, but you also can't look away at the same time.
And again, his ass looked great in that scene, but oh my God. I'm always surprised when I see a male ass in a movie. Like, you don't see it often. Like, I see when it panned to that, I said, "Whoa, wow!" Like, what's his name? Christian Bale was another one in American Psycho.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that movie in forever. I didn't like it.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know. Everybody talks about it like it's this classic of the genre and stuff, but when I saw it, I just did not like it at all. But I saw it in theaters like a couple of days after it came out, and I was like, whatever. It wasn't for me. Maybe I'd like it more if I watched it now.
Maybe. Guys, did you have anything else to mention on this movie that we didn't have?
I just wanted to ask you guys real quick if you had seen the sequel.
No.
An American Werewolf in Paris.
The fuck? Really? I didn't even know.
Yeah, it came out in like 1995, 96.
I don't think so. I remember, again, that was, it came out not too, like, they were airing it on, like, Sci-Fi or whatever. I remember seeing ads that it was coming up, and I remember being really excited to sit down and watch it, but then I don't remember the movie at all. I don't know if, like, maybe I didn't get the chance to see it, or if it was that bad that I just mocked it somehow. I have no recollection of the movie other than, like, the Sci-Fi Channel ads for it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. John Landis wasn't involved at all. Rick Baker wasn't involved at all. As far as I know, anyway. Maybe Rick Baker was, but yeah, it's a really bad movie. But I just wanted to mention it because it is out there. I didn't know if you guys had seen it or not.
No, but wait a minute. So, is it the same dude or just a completely different person?
No, a completely different person and everything. But apparently, at one point, when they were trying to set up everything to go shoot this in England, they needed to get 4 work permits for I think it was I don't remember now. Maybe it was John Landis, Rick Baker, and Griffin Dunn and David McNaughton, the 2 actors, David and Jake.
Huh.
Jake or Jack? No, I can't remember.
Something
anyway,
with Jay.
Yeah. And they needed work permits from the government, and the whatever department in the English government grants the work permits granted 3 of them, but said that Griffin Dunn didn't need one. They could use an English actor or an American actor who was living in England to play that part. And John Landis was insistent that they were not going to recast his movie for him, so he told them that if he didn't get the work permit, he would change the title to an American Werewolf in Paris, and he would just go shoot it in France. and they immediately issued the work permits. So I just thought it was funny that the sequel that eventually came out 16 years later, was An American Werewolf in Paris.
Unbelievable. I don't know. It's just kind of cheesy to me. Like, oh man, they both put them in Paris. Well, Rob. Okay, guys. I need to get before we wrap this up. I need to get a Portnoy on this one.
All right.
So, Rob, you start since you're the one that picked the damn thing.
8.4.
Oh. Kat, help me on that. I feel like it's high.
I feel like I feel like I did this last time also. I wouldn't give it 7 point something.
Okay.
I liked it more than I liked the fog, but I have a tough time putting it all the way at 8. Maybe the fog should have been lower. Maybe I'm seeing the error in my ways.
So I was right.
You were right.
Uh-huh.
I'll give it like a 7.4.
Okay. I'm in the same.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm in the same neighborhood. I would give it. I think a 7.3 is perfect for it.
You guys are not making me happy.
Rob, I'm doing the best I can here, man.
You just hate the classics. That's the problem.
No, I don't hate the classics.
No, it's fine. Next week we'll review Final Destination 22 or whatever.
Wow. Why don't we do Saw fucking 6? But no,
that would get an 8 for me.
Wow, look at the shadow that locked it down. Did you see that?
Damn it.
Wow. Okay. And you have the nerve to talk about Rob and his Friday the 13th ranking. She's got Portnoys on every Saw movie. Ready to go. But on history alone, you can't give it any less than a 7. Like, you really can't. And as much as I feel like it had its slow moments, it redeemed itself more than enough. Like when Rubber Met the Road, I hate using the word rubber in front of Rob.
I was about to say, yeah, Rubber. That's a movie.
Oh, well, here we go. Okay, so now
an amazing movie.
When this movie got traction, it really paid off, and it had great shit in here, man. Like overall, there are so many things you can point to in this movie that's way better than shit that's even coming out in 2020. Not that much is coming out in 2020, but you get the point. I think we have fair scores. Rob's was a little high, but all right.
No, mine was right, and you guys are low, and it's fine.
I do want to mention something to you guys really quick, and this has nothing to do with anything we talked about today, but I did promise Robert, oh God, with the names, Gatches? Gacches. Gatches.
No way that's right, but okay.
It can't be wrong. But his Twitter handle is @Gatches_152. And he asked me if I noticed anything about he was listening to our Krampus episode. And Robert, as much as I appreciate you listening to us, the show has changed vastly since the Krampus episode. Like, I'm the only one. Oh, well, yeah, I'm the only one that's still on the damn show from then. So, man, maybe check out some of our newer stuff. Man, but it's besides the point. He was listening to that, and he asked me if I ever caught the trick or treat Easter eggs in Krampus. I didn't, guys. I don't know if you
No.
All right, so I asked him to explain, and Trick or Treat and Krampus, apparently, according to Robert, were both directed by Michael Dougherty and made up candies from the Trick or Treat film and included them in one of Sam's lollipops. When I was watching it, I caught that. I put 2 and 2 together, and it made me enjoy Krampus even more. Oh, okay. I was thinking Sam from Trick or Treat. Oh, okay. So, I guess there was a character named Sam in Krampus.
Okay.
Sam from Trick or Treat Lollipop in this little box.
Oh, no, I didn't notice
That's
it.
fun.
No, I mean, I've seen Krampus once. I didn't like it.
I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. That was another one of those, oh, great, a horror comedy.
What I find interesting is, like, this dude went out of his way to make a lollipop, and I'm looking at it because Robert was nice enough to send a picture of it for me. Like, these directors and stuff, they go out of their way to do something that small that like 2% of people are going to even fucking notice. Like, it's so crazy.
Yeah, I didn't notice it at all. And I like Trick or Treat. That's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I like both Trick or Treats. That one that he's talking about with Sam, and also the one from the 80s with Ozzy Osbourne.
I liked. I'm surprised about the Easter egg. I guess not that surprised because I liked Trick or Treat, but I usually watch whatever is streaming, and Trick or Treat was not available anywhere for the longest time, so I've only seen it like once or twice.
Right.
But I liked Krampus a lot too, so that's a fun callback.
Right.
I'll look for it when we watch Krampus this year.
Right. Yeah, I like little shit like that. It's cool that's in there. I never notice them though. I don't pay attention very much.
Not very observant.
No, I'm really not. But I'll try and work on that just for you, Rob. Rob, how many whips did you get this episode? Like 6, right?
I didn't count. I don't know.
But alright, guys. So you guys can go check us out at slasherradio.com. Also follow us on Twitter. We are at slasherradio. I am at Mikey's Dead. Mr. Humphrey, where are they finding you?
You can find me on Twitter at RadioRob123. That's actually my handle on pretty much all social media, so you can follow me wherever you want. And you can also check out my other show, This Horror Life, which can be found wherever fine podcasts are sold. They're not sold. Downloaded, procured, whatever.
Don't tell Joe Rogan that. He made life.
Yeah.
His was sold.
Yeah. When are we going to get one of those Spotify deals, Mike?
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Oh, man.
Spotify, please get at us.
Right? Seriously. Yeah, so. Kat, where are they finding you?
On Twitter, at cat_velour, VOLEUR.
Capital C, capital V.
Capital C, capital V.
That's right.
Mine's all lowercase.
Hey, you know.
Yep, because I represent.
Anyway, guys, thank you very much for listening.
7.
Thank you very much for listening to us this week. We'll be back next week, and good night from Slasher Radio.
All the best with Slasher Radio Podcast.
When the hell she fall asleep?
The balls of you. The balls of you.
So we just hung around here, made some food, watched some football, you know.
Yeah. I had Stevie over.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that had to be fun.
Oh, yeah, it was a fucking blast. The toilet downstairs, the little stopper inside, you know, that lifts up and down. It's running. The bowl is running, so it's like that's not closing properly. And I told him, he's like, "Oh, I'll look at it." I'm like, "Uncle Stevie, please don't touch my fucking toilet. Like, it's bad enough what you do to my toilet up here, man. Like, I don't need you fucking up 2 toilets.
Yeah,
I can't afford that."
Yeah.
Hey, Kat.
Is Kat here?
Yeah, Kat's here. Hey, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Do you have a family member that just shits, like, uncontrollably?
No.
No? Really?
No, I don't. Not an immediate family member.
No? Well,
Not that I've ever noticed.
damn. Lucky you. I have a family member, my uncle. He will just, like, he does not care, man, where he fucking has to do it either. Like, it does not bother him in the least. It's fucked up.
Hey, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Rob, are you one of those people that can just shit anywhere?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like those people who are afraid of public bathrooms or whatever. Not me. I'll get in there and do it. I don't care.
What the fuck? I can't do it, man. I cannot. Even at work, like, no.
Oh, no. I'll blow the toilet up at work. I don't give a shit.
You are an animal. I can't. Like, my thing is, I don't want... Like, because I see people going in and out of the bathroom, and if they're in there a while, like, when they come out, like, it might be fucked up, but I can't help but say, you dirty ass. Like, I know what you did. And, like, I don't want people looking at me as the dirty ass. You know, I can't.
No, I know some people are like that. Ain't me, though. I'll go right in there. I'll tell you. I'll be like, I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be back in 20.
Oh, my God. You have no shame.
Mm-mm.
Kat, I have a feeling you're on my side with this one.
I'm not actually. So the last couple months I've moved back into my childhood home to help my parents with renovations, and we're down to one restroom now. Because the one downstairs has been like it's functional, but like all of the walls and everything have been like gutted out. So public restrooms are so much nicer than anything that I've got going on at home, where I have to wait for like an hour to get into the restroom, or just like have no walls. We can like literally see into the laundry room from the downstairs bathroom.
No.
And it's been like this forever. We've just finally gotten the stuff that we need in to like repair the floor, and I'm just like, oh man, it could not have come soon enough. I've been upset about this. It's one of the reasons why I came home, because like it was just supposed to be like a couple month renovation to some of the pipes and stuff, and I came home and they're just like, they had been living without the downstairs bathroom for like 6 months when I came back, and I'm like, this is not okay. Like, we have to, this needs fixed.
Right?
Why are there no walls in the bathroom downstairs?
See, that is the type of toilet my uncle that I was talking about, Stevie, he would revel in having a toilet. Like, if he could shit and have you see him, oh goddamn, it's like setting a child loose at Disney World, man. He would be so happy.
I don't want that.
Oh, he don't mind.
Yeah, no, that's not cool. Like, I don't want,
when you're younger, you break in on your friend in the bathroom or something, like kick the door in, break into some taking shit. They're embarrassed. They're covering up, trying to shut the door. He will smile at you, look you dead in the eye, and start waving it at you. No shame whatsoever in his game. So if he had the ability to where he could shit and you just see him like naturally, oh God. He'd be so happy. That dirty, dirty bastard.
Unbelievable.
I know. But damn, man, I have a thing. Like, I can't. I get stage fright. Like, I cannot shit. Even if I'm at work and I really, really, really gotta go, I'll go home on my break. Like, I will not. And I will have to run. Like, there's been times I haven't eaten on my lunch break because I was too busy going back and forth, and can't do it.
That's ridiculous, man. Just go to the bathroom. Everybody poops, Mikey.
I know, but I just can't do it. Oh, that whip is the best fucking thing. I feel better after I whip you, Rob. Even though it's not real. It feels so much better.
Are you a financial advisor considering the Independent Registered Investment Advisor, or RIA model, and wondering where to start? Start with Schwab Advisor Services. Schwab has helped thousands evaluate the full range of options and can help you determine your best path forward. Navigate the big and small decisions by tapping into Schwab's decades worth of insights on what fuels RIA success. With Schwab Advisor Services, you have a custodian that will support you every step of the way. Start your journey today at advisorservices.schwab.com/paths.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.